Inspiring stories of 8 billionaires who were once broke. Did you know that 80% of billionaires started with nothing? And no, we didn't make that up. According to Dr. Tom, author of The Millionaire Next Door, who did extensive research on the most successful people in the world today, he revealed that only 20% of the world's billionaires inherited their money. This shows that a majority of the world's billionaires were once poor, broke, and some were even homeless before they went on to be the richest people in the world today. How about that? Yes, this is Wealthy Fact, where you come to watch, execute, and get wealthy. The channel that teaches you the fundamentals of success and shares tips that will assist you on the path to financial freedom. If you haven't subscribed yet, please ensure you do so you never miss any of the amazing content that we constantly have coming out. Today, we'll be talking about 8 billionaires who were once broke and started out poor. From people who lived on $12 per month to some who got kicked out of their apartment because they couldn't pay the rent. We'll discuss some of the inspiring stories of the world's most wealthy and see what lessons we can take from these grass-to-grace billionaires. So let's get started, shall we? 8 billionaires who were once broke. Number 1. Ritesh Agarwal. Ritesh Agarwal, born in Basam, Cuttack, Odisha State, India. They were raised by a poor family in the outskirts of Titlar. Even though he was privy to the struggles and hardship of a small life in India, he started delving into business at the age of 13, where he sold SIM cards on the streets of Rayagada. He dropped out of college in the year 2011 and at the age of 18 started going into the hotel business. He felt he would not be good in school, so he began to dedicate himself to trying to find problems and solving them. I knew if I'd gone to college, I wouldn't have done well, and then my family would hate me. So I felt if my family was to hate me anyway, I would rather do what I feel very excited about. Even as he struggled to find his feet, he faced a lot of hardship and failed 6 times in his attempt to build his business. Having only 50 cents in his bank account at one point, he was so broke that he got kicked out of his apartment. But slowly, things started to look up when he reached out to a manager at a nearby hotel and offered to help the hotel manager get more customers. He worked relentlessly on beefing up the hotel, which became an instant success. When he found out that he was able to change one hotel, he expanded his market into changing others. This attracted a lot of money from investors, and with delicate planning and rigorous work, Ritesh went on to own over 500 hotels at the age of 23. As of today, his company OYO Hotel has over 46,000 hotels in India. This made him the second youngest self-made billionaire in the world, with a net worth of over $1.1 billion. Number 2. John Paul DeJoria. He was the second son of immigrant parents who got divorced when he was at the age of 2. His mother was unable to support him, and his brother and this got them sent to a foster home. He sold Christmas cards at the age of 9, and John talks about he was even a gang member and how he wielded knives as a kid. He spent 2 years in the Navy, and after which he handled menial jobs like being a janitor and a gas station attendant, and he even worked as a door-to-door salesman selling shampoo. Things were so bad that he didn't have a place to live at one time, so he had to sleep in his car. But things turned around in 1980 when he met Paul Mitchell, and they started their company with just $700. They've built the hair product company John Paul Mitchell, but John wasn't satisfied with one business. John later went out and founded Patron, a tequila distilling company with co-founder Martin Crawley. He also founded the House of Blues nightclub and a host of other successful businesses. Success is how well you do what you do while nobody else is looking, he says. He talks about his childhood and early struggles a lot in his book Good Fortune, and how hard he had to work before things turned around. From a former gang member to being known for his philanthropy, today his net worth is $2.7 billion. Number 3. Howard Schultz. Howard Schultz, the man who globalized coffee. Born in 1953 in Brooklyn, New York, he was born into a poor family where his dad was a truck driver and his mom a cafeteria waitress. After graduating Canarsie High School, his family was unable to send him to college, but being a natural football athlete, he managed to earn a scholarship that sent him to Northern Michigan University, NMU. He later graduated with a degree in communications and started working in companies like Xerox and PAI Partners, where he excelled as a manager in their smaller company, Hammerplast. He managed the sales of coffee makers. He noticed that a small company in Seattle known as Starbucks was buying more coffee makers every month, and he decided to see the place for himself. Schultz says in an interview, "When I walked in this store for the first time, I know this sounds really hokey, I knew I was home. I can't explain it, but I knew I was in a special place and the product kind of spoke to me. He collaborated with the founders of Starbucks and later went on to start his own coffee bar, Il Giornale, which was an instant success. He later joined his company with Starbucks and became the CEO of Starbucks Coffee Company. Since then, the business has been a continued success globally with over 17,600 stores in 39 countries around the world and a market cap of over $60 billion. He's worth over $4 billion and was ranked at 209 on Forbes' list of world billionaires. He has numerous charity foundations and employment schemes dedicated to helping people. Number 4. Marian Ilitch. Marian Ilitch, born in Dearborn, Michigan, is the daughter of a family that hailed from Macedonia. Being born to a family that didn't have the best means, she had to work really hard if she was going to survive. Her first jobs were to fill napkin containers, putting salt and pepper shakers out, and other sort of gruesome side works, which she was not even paid for. Marian's first actual paying job was at the SS Kreska on the Michigan Avenue in Dearborn. She later went on to work as a reservation clerk for the famous Delta Airlines on Washington Boulevard in Detroit. In 1954, Marian went on a blind date arranged by her father with her future husband, Mike Ilitch, whom she later married. Together, they started the Little Caesars Pizza in 1959. Marian was so drawn to the hustle and bustle of working in downtown Detroit, the excitement drove her desire for business. The vigor helped expand their franchise into an overwhelming success. Marian also had the idea to owning the Motor City Casino in Detroit and bought it from other investors for the sum of $600 million. She had her family found the Ilitch Holding Inc., and she became the chairwoman upon her husband's death. Today, she's worth $4.4 billion, according to Forbes, and is ranked as one of the world's richest women, according to Bloomberg. Number 5. Shahid Khan. This is the Pakistani immigrant who went on to become an American billionaire and sports tycoon. But before his overwhelming success, he was raised by a middle-class family involved in construction. He moved to the United States at the age of 16 to study at the University of Illinois. In his struggle to have a good education, he spent his first night in a $2 a night room at the university. One of his first jobs was washing dishes with earnings of $1.20 per hour. He graduated with honors and got a job at the Flex and Gate Corporation. My ambition when I got into this country was to get an education and live the American dream, says Khan in his interview with CBS. Basically, I wanted a job, and in those days you went door to door, faced a lot of rejections, and when I got the job, I really had to prove myself. He started his company, Bumper Works, with a $50,000 loan and $16,000 in savings. He made a lot of money from making car bumpers, and he later bought Flex and Gate and started supplying bumpers to automakers like Toyota, which was so profitable that it increased their sales from $17 million to $2 billion as of 2010. But Shahid did not stop there. After making a lot of money, he made a deal with former owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Wayne Weaver, and bought the team for the sum of $760 million in 2012, making him the first member of an ethnic minority to own an NFL group. Shahid also bought Fulham Soccer Club from Muhammad Al Fayed in 2013 for about 150 to 200 million pounds. He launched the All Elite Wrestling, a pro wrestling entertainment company, with his son Tony in 2019. It's evident that Shahid has come a long way from washing dishes for $1.20 to being worth over $7.8 billion and being ranked 66th in the Forbes 400. Number 6. Roman Abramovich. Abramovich is an Israeli-Russian businessman that is known widely for his generosity and impeccable taste in football teams. Okay, I may be being biased because I'm a huge fan of Chelsea FC, but there's a lot of things to say about Abramovich. He was born to his father, Irady Abramovich, who was an office manager, and his mother, Irina Michalenk, who was a housekeeper. He was orphaned at the age of 3, which is sure to have caused severe emotional distress, and he was raised by his uncle Leib. But even as a young kid who struggled in school, he learned the importance of saving money and developed a zest for business. He started selling toys and used car tires, which he used to support himself while getting a college education in Ukta. He left school and joined the military in 1974 by the mandate of the Israeli government, but he didn't pursue a career in the military. Instead, he used his knowledge of business and started selling gasoline to the officers, under the radar, if I might add. He founded his toy company, the Comfort Co-op, with the money he saved from the gasoline business. The company was very successful, and he started investing into oil conglomerates and even pig farms. Now he owns several major companies such as Millhouse Capital, Everest, and of course, Chelsea FC. He is currently worth $12.5 billion and holds the world's second most expensive yacht, which is worth $400 million, and it's called the Eclipse. Not bad for a guy who lost both parents at the age of 3. Number 7. Li Ka-shing. Li Ka-shing is probably the most influential entrepreneur in Asia, being a business tycoon and owning multiple businesses that are extremely successful. But not many people know that Li went through a lot of hard times before his affluence and wealth. Born into a small family in Chaoyin, his family fled to Hong Kong in the 1940s due to the Japanese invasion, and after which he lost his father, who was a school principal at the age of 11. He started working in his uncle's plastic shop at the age of 15 in order to support his family, and he left school and had to work 16 hours a day to make any money. Thanks to the knowledge he retained in the plastic shop, Li started his own plastic company, and then he went further and started Chen Kong, leading real estate company in Hong Kong. Li persevered through hard work and serious planning, and he climbed his way up the corporate ladder and built himself a business empire. His businesses include banking, construction, real estate, cell phones, and even domestic transportation, to mention a few. Li says he made goals to surpass the Jardinist Old Hong Kong Land, a leading real estate company, as a leading developer. Today, Li is known far and wide for his hard work and determination, and he's currently worth $24.7 billion. Number 8. Jack Ma. Ever heard of the Amazon of China? You probably have. It's called the Alibaba Group, and it was founded by this impressive man, Jack Ma. Originally known as Ma Yun, he was born in Hangzhou, Xishan, China. Jack always had an innate love for English, and he learned English from talking to people at a local hotel and practiced on tourists who visited his town. He had a hard time getting into primary school, had a hard time getting into middle school, and he had a hard time getting into college. He failed the college entrance examination 3 times before he passed and got admitted into Hangzhou Teachers Institute, where he graduated with a degree in English. Jack applied to Harvard Business School 10 times, and he got rejected every time. Jack says he applied for 30 different jobs, and he got rejected for all of them. I went for a job with police. They said, "You're no good." I even went to KFC when it came to my city. 24 people went for the job, and 23 people got accepted. I was the only guy who wasn't. As emotionally traumatizing as that may be, Jack got used to it, and he kept on pushing. He finally got a job as an English teacher with a pay of $12 per month. His introduction to the internet paved the way for a business idea. He founded 2 companies on an internet-based platform which failed twice. He started to gain a little success by building websites for companies, even though he had no knowledge of coding whatsoever. But he and his friends did manage to make money on that business, and then he had the idea to start the Alibaba Group. The idea was to create a website that allowed people to buy products from companies directly, which he pitched to his friends, hoping to get investments. The company made 0 revenue in the first 2 years, but by the time the business grew, it's now become the largest online marketplace in China and has generated billions of profits that turned Jack Ma into a billionaire. Jack never did well in school, but his knowledge of business, relentless hard work, and not being fazed by failure and rejection has brought him this far. Today, he's worth $41.3 billion and ranked as one of the richest men in the world. This concludes our list for this video. We thank you for taking your time to study the history of these billionaires. Understand that if they could suffer through all the hardships of losing loved ones, being overly poor and homeless, and somehow come out on top, then surely you can too. Believe, stay true to yourself, work hard, and always learn. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a word or two in the comments below. And thank you for watching.